Munsam at the brown and dry, ye, rad, Timsy. Baby, I'd be for Biana as a cafe, baby, I'd be for Biana cafe, me dream one in Tessa, and dry a cat and spa, uti feel my shamrock. Chessa and Yassam get to a cry, Trifana bossa, just street wing cake. Order of 1 city 13 pesos. And then a semi bet now, by him. But still, you remove weekends into no problem. It's show me live. Streaming live, a year sports, call a year YouTuber, I am MYBET.AFRICA TV, MYBET.AFRICA TV. Nafi, call a MYBET retail shops, beer, the daso portrait, and yasam keto akra. Honum, Nafi, street is watching so live, honoma, I was say, show no, na be on Facebook, na be answer near them, ye, honum. Yaba better see Yaba share Europa League games in a crack. And what means yes. New coach bounce, no. Sir Florentina to make a share. New coach bounce in the challenge. We had the Ombe Shama, which want to say. Tiabasha a year Europa Moons and some crack. And I feel FIFA best players no more. I'm releasing a year nominations and as a nomination about one coaches and Enzo Maresca. To me, nomination, Yasam Ketuakra. Kupama Munina, Baby Romania, that Tiabasha. Nafi Yababe share a debate and a Cristiano Ronaldo is talking about the World Cup. I say World Cup on a massa. Any dream, any dream is answer or Jew one Jew or no. A dear I was all here. Oh, football will be on why we into no World Cup no. A Nina dream. Name say Obo massa. Say World Cup a new dream like about now. I retired that for international football. Because 41 years. Oh, dear one international game. But World Cup in the person who called the last World Cup when it was Washada and our Casas. Maybe Musa and Pano Cre. Or no baby, I would we or the World Cup trophy here then. Is answer or no Portugal before Omba Portugal. No Portugal Jeshi. Or status of my Portugal. Was it 3 trophies a year or more year or Modebana and Nations League was it 2. And was a year Euro 2016 was the Amomo. It was just significant idea the money Kruma, Nikrumu for no or you more read that. Tis obi because a World Cup no no so jema or 17 din ewo history books mu a nani pa kono nim de woka enti ye behwe saa nsam mienu yi na afi ye do so mu na afi wia ya ba behwe me se MYBET no maka kire mu se saa tricks e wo MYBET no mu no one to bo ase anhwehwe a ohu ye frɛ bi Jet S can be Jet S. Me see you then Jet S no. Ewo MYBET no swa. Bosu part of casino ni bi na. Bosu ube discount kasa. Me na me catch you. Ube discount rough. Jet S. It ye de munchire mu no be den. Ebe bro no hu de ya den. De ko ene de ba. MYBET. And as we are saying den sam no nya. Ye de bro ha say na me bi atumi akọ. Me din the list to Benedict was as soon as Vincent to Benedict Vincent, me mama kwaba.
Yeah, list to Joso.
Bibia eboko there.
Bibia eboko.
Yeah, mumira and seminimu.
Yes, inti yen share that was the Europa any conference league a dra, and I think say we share some of the results are not the any expected anything by be on so omuyi boy and so nyama intimi ankoyi or me starting free Midland any Celtic game. I think the Scottish teams this season in European competition has been very poor. Change of managers have been in Yama Bibra, but still we are not getting the best out of these Scottish teams. Ababe a big problem. In now share not Otney a favor Midland, but Quine Bias no being him say they are surely going to win. But how can Celtic give them a difficult game? It took a penalty and send a Celtic itiminya a goal. So Midland itimi winning by 3-1. In another shocking game was Utrecht against Porto. Now Porto in that is the Europa League, no. Inyama nkoye mom. Even though with that red hot form omunya in let's say that is their league, I know be him say coming into the Europa no. Betimi abomumodi who that game against Salzburg, omo bre ya last minute and son omutimi shego. Nottingham Forest echinishe 2-0. NNA a game against Utrecht I'll be him say they are not on the level of Porto, a ban European pedigree, but still Porto it took a red card. Porto sharing a red card by they couldn't even get a win. You draw investors, baby, we share order. MYBET.AFRICA, the man Porto. na enso sa investors be Porto straight win enam no so no entimi anko ye ho. Nottingham Forest against Tom Grass. You can say Sean Dykes kwan bia so why na dwen say onhye wa o ma onhye no. Na Indra I think in Kenny in Kebabet never Bonabaso winning 2 European games on a row. But Gibbs White penalty to Minya ya or boss saying was something intimia moment that maximum 3 points. But a 1-1, a 0-0 draw away from home, I think Kubetimia Fanue Johnny because now they are on good points. We're on position in the league logger. In the next game, so almost betimi rather is the next round. Another game, AS Roma against Rangers. After a new coach for Rangers, still they are still not back onto their feet. And I was surprised with AS Roma performance because this season we club so or kwa away so bofie no on time she goes. Need the any say washe baako no the upon and now say wa concede baako no the upon. But in Roma in the first half, first time this season, Roma team share 2 goals in the first half, which I think say Ene Gasperini to Nyama ye and Roma beat me. I said this time send your mutimiji the Conference League. My boy room that's the Europa League no. On beat me Sanji that trophy and so I can home. You read the Conference League. Crystal Palace in the Europa League Conference League almost with me bomb more than almost shock me here because now meaning say Palace. Na guess what? Keep that clean sheet and dress and I'm kind of set a record. Set that record, but in draw meant me keep that clean sheet. And in draw, I was surprised with Palace scoring 3 goals because from the qualifying round into the Conference League proper, no Palace was shy 1, no they winning. But yesterday, Omutimi Sifem in draw Ghana branch or demo Emma Eze Takma. It me save a penalty, who drew. It me save a penalty from Mateta. And now also still Otimi conceded 3 goals at Eze Takma. And so Timi share that goal for Team Efreno. Eze Takma to Timi share that goal against that is Crystal Palace. I think the Conference League, other teams is more than the likes of Dynamo Kiev, Musifem, Ebo 6, Strasbourg, and so Etimi Kwawe, Etimi Kowini by 2-1. So I think Oshe game numu ya AK Athens any Porto muno mutimi high investors but so utimi avoid the teams ba kumi anyway ya kwan bia so no ubetimi fiscal MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay. Yeah, list to Enra, a lot of games at Oja. I mean 18 games in the Conference League and Europa League. To me I think notably most of the teams na expect some by winning, most of them every new more game no. But one thing is if you look at some of the Ghanaian players among their qualifications and I think that I'm very happy for me to say Abdul Baba Rahman. He got the win and also come up because Baba Rahman go has also provided assist the games are boy and listo. I have to say this man who say oh yeah Juma especially personal social media some players are even team do my World Cup and patch of for Baba Rahman ka ho. Kwan bia so me a pet painful be on motor. It's also personal decision to necessary on Black Stars. You bet me to Nova Manaban because easy. So Shima probably he's the best left back Ghana one on his year or Bobo with near experience and everything. So I mean he's been playing day in day out for PAOK and he's been doing well. So I'm hoping say Ndra ni go in assist no nya and an incredible season so far when in the league in this season for PAOK in both in the Conference League in the winning now. We beat my replicate the Madison national team the Black Stars of get no at least two. The shock was for me was Utrecht and Porto. Although they are still unbeaten. They are still unbeaten though, but
which team?
FC Porto.
Omoni Nottingham Forest acquisition. Nottingham Forest.
No, like as in Omo lose just 1 game so far. Yeah. That is, I stand to be corrected. Against Nottingham Forest. Then it was a game that I was expecting to be, but then I'll share my submission on this game. I mean, the can catch us say, so we take every division team. Was also the Ukraine, especially ni go there, Obiga and Utrecht did that. Went on by second half now. 2 minutes into the second half, and number share go. Then Pepe Mo. Ebe boa mo betika when omo take na listo and a Utrecht for Ninya red card. So I thought say that was going to be the motivating factor for Porto for them to seal the game. And I think the Utrecht for the list too. I'm defend it so well. I'm defend it so well. When I see Nottingham Forest, I'm Sean Dyke now, but no money man can say he's a coach that when he's playing or doing defense no more first. I got guys went to Mastuki or Johnny Chelsea. At that time, not Chelsea considered goals Lampard time. But when he came, he was working on the defense. So Chelsea first 5-6 games. Oberwin near 1 goal. On winning a 0-0. That is what Sean Dyke is doing as of now. So maybe them will advise the investors of who chat Nottingham Forest match. Beware of goals and time back in recent times. They have very good sharp wingers. Goals in best start from match day 18 air corner or how the coach wants them to defend. If not that, now defensive reset are the most important thing for Omo side team as at this moment. And I know Bologna. It was quite surprising so many man share SK brand, but Mecca said 23rd red card that ever game was something and also it may affect you more. And I also think that Victoria plays in a Rangers game was another game. Now I was expecting say in Kalis Kebenya goals and Stuttgart Feyenoord, and I was quite unfortunate say Feyenoord for me and your goal in that regard. So probably I think that I'm not checking all the games of course and Strasbourg to me win. All the big teams are probably who expected some winning. They went to marry in the crown. Most of them illusions and they can AK Athens, Porto, a lot of other teams of men's but to me I think at least the Europa League they are social. If we follow Europa League natural, where then it's full of uncertainty. So if you are able to avoid that risky game and that big team ne us never kete award GDC be on lose no ultimate skip your name say BBA to me acquire but to me I think say no yeah witness a very nice game but then most of the predictions in terms of goal the in-game analysis now no most of them hit me but hopefully yeah we say nyame adoma weekend games no you bet him the remu na sani money na so team dia balisto.
Okay, yan share Ronaldo and some now all come about the World Cup.
Yes, I think say listo me who the recent comment about the World Cup no na mesere asemba ko be see me team say Aden Ronaldo no monopose ya na because this was the same person after the 2022 World Cup. He made a personal post that was on Instagram, and this is what the post says: "My goal now, we want to win the World Cup. My dream is to always win with Portugal. The World Cup is my biggest dream. And as I post we Toronto after Portugal, you eliminate your move free. That is the World Cup. We are seeing winning a World Cup for Portugal was the biggest and the most ambitious dream of my career. Asema Ronaldo can know. Winning the World Cup is the biggest and most ambitious dream of my career."
So that was then.
Yes, that make us say later, after 3 years, Oba now some someone making it feel say World Cup ni kwen hear me. Then I had to say be old now old two in football be good Portuguese we friend saying nation any because we lose World Cup ni na now this idea nature chomore and now say one kasano one who's a World Cup no kwan bia so ntimi nje nse ntimi nje dia and the mimbongu. And in his recent statement Adebako a osan kan a meni anje won say he feels said the World Cup is just 6 to 8 games.
So say 7 games.
And I
so we saying say because of 7 games in only history away of football mu no so anje no a just say ni history away obo mu count ana
and no wie no asan de be kan ho say winning the UEFA European Championship is equivalent to the World Cup. And you say okay something is equivalent meaning say maybe they are of the same value. Into no says waji European Championship now it has the same value as the World Cup. But one thing
maybe in the contest say the country no monje waji bibi dia mo. Yes.
But ye name say the World Cup is the banning ye rated trophies, ye rated competitions is the biggest in the world.
Okay.
We are seeing my player beyond me in Kase on per World Cup ni biaji. Yen even po supporters ye shebo no. Ye nenya yanka Ghana aji World Cup no chinabi. Utu nana for because na mu wana Black Star aji World Cup. A player we ne so mu eni aji. Se ojidi se World Cup ni nye important man sa me panicho the Portuguese national team no yi ni film na nkwala ni nkobobo ni nkwaji World Cup ni hiom no. Because being part of the team with the mindset say, oh, 6-7 games and here, it doesn't define my career. There are people in the Portuguese national team, they want that majors for themselves. And Kwambia so okay team no you start ahead of most of the team. Ramos, you start ahead of him. So GD said the World Cup ain't mean defining a career, and now his main project is to get that 1,000 goals. Then he can concentrate on that and let the Portuguese national team, the likes of João Neves, João Felix, and Pedro Neto,
when they go to the World Cup, obey to match goals. Na 1,000 goals no person ocean. So now to me I way. But say okwa enye ni
intina make us on the man nko yedana say. May you be a Ronaldo asempa, but in the interview I don't know say be to get numbers and to get the attention because ne interview where the nyama bebraba World Cup near one. Secondly, trying to say Man United team no mkutano. We been amoring with Magic in point to me nyama ye because of Felisa the squad.
He didn't.
No, I'm just main in code, but I'm just trying to make it understand.
He was talking about the fact that he said he was doing well, but are they expecting him to do
magic because of the squad no mkutano? And so meaning the squad isn't that good.
The squad no say ebimu honoma. They don't even know the value of Man United, how big Man United is. What I say? I think that if you don't interpret it in a contest, so even Ruben Amorim, knowing perfectly, say this is how contests are all come or say what Ronaldo is talking about is in the past. So they should what? They should let the past be past and concentrate on the future.
And I used to make us say, if he's just trying to get media attention,
Ronaldo doesn't need media attention.
And I make can say yes, he doesn't need the media attention.
Media for no coming more attention in do
whatever. Yes, but and I make us say getting the media attention in based on Fabia. You can media for Bomundu attention.
Yes, so Felix I requested for interview. So out of respect, let me give him the interview. We'll be some questions. Man United, do you see Man United? What he has to say in the next 2-3 years, can you say Man United budget Champions League? And you be to Messi. We are analysts. You are not a fan.
And I make us
looking at teams looking at teams and looking at what they are doing and what Man United is doing. Can you say in the next year or two, Man United will win the Champions League and will win the league?
They can.
How?
Because competitions mostly are not built on yearly plan momentum. So we are saying Abramovich at Chelsea, chop and change with in way, but still they were able to get
talking about Man United though.
And I make us say it would happen. It can happen depending on the structure on person who play. Trophy winning is not about me believe that sometimes trophy winning is not even about the particular type of squad you assemble. It's about the mentality. It's about the coach leading the team. In some Mourinho and I dream say, there's a Man United team about far may call on a run. Mama players not as I say inkofo akan aboyechiache. Let's have that mentality. Let's go in and win something. They can win the Premier League next season.
They can. It's possibility to say they will. But before you know Man United is going to win the league. You don't even say they are you tip them say omo no meko akwaje league no. Right? That is what Ronaldo is talking about. The mentality of United. They all come. That is what he's saying. You understand? When it gets to that time, say, okay, now do say, baby, United, they are on the right path. Right? They are on the right path. I'm sure everybody will see it. Until then, what we are seeing, you cannot see, say, okay, you can only hope, say, maybe your man start to be beat, but Man United is not like that. That is why a man for Kasafa Chelsea one. Omo can such that you better now as because yet project no omo yen na say. But a bit more Kasasu in the contest, Charlie. Chelsea no say no mo ye omnyama o ti ye be start season teams on major league ni ye bo United din ye bo Chelsea din. What I say now Sunny the other clubs why that is in the last 20 years no. That is the conversation into bibi se sampe ubon say e ba say ye tepe teams on betumi age Premier League ubon say oh yeah dark on some man for say oh Chelsea yeah outsiders. Yeah. They are outsiders. They are this. But before it was not like that. You are not telling Ronaldo no come be sir. That is what he is saying, right? Yeah. Now, as to say World Cup anyway, yeah. All can
yes, I don't go with ideas. Right. So Felice World Cup is important. Obey me a sign. Now there are players who want that major trophy and they come cabinet too because they've been able to do everything in club football. When your World Cup can one, it puts them among the elite or most okay.
Is it listo? Communication, whether we like it or not, it is the most important aspect of your livelihood. Oh, sorry, we use kind of communication. You communicate to the seller. Everything in our lives, communication. So whether you communicate to somebody. Maybe however the person will decode the message, Probably yes, and opposite the masses message. So there's a reason why people who communicate to the masses, who kasa, and now who make you a submission, then one man drink because your football list, you can use a word. Maybe I make use word be. Benedict Metiasi, but that is on Tiasi. But it doesn't mean say I was only targeting Benedict when I was making my submission. Now, you see what Ronaldo said. Say once you interview, and now if you are reading what Ronaldo said, no one who what he was answering to her, listo. You'll be a very big mistake. And sometimes you're why me read quotes every online. I say, as a quote, you didn't pay it to but the moment you know the question, and you know your interview, no answer, no say, okay, now you will tend to understand the context very different from first now. Now, Money Man every day Ronaldo message, I want to read it again. As winning the World Cup for Portugal was the biggest and most ambitious dream of my career. Fortunately, I won many titles of an international dimension, including for Portugal, but to put the name of our country on the highest spots in the world was my biggest dream. Now, and the biggest dream, Senkodi Portugal, Ebeji World Cup. And you see, if Ronaldo Beckham catch and say, now, any dream be to win the World Cup for Portugal currently. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want to play in the World Cup. And I say Portugal call World Cup. Ne penalty at was on board no. But now, if you read the question, any how P.S. Morgan Bisa Ronaldo say, is he the greatest of all time? Because I want to believe he says a 1G World Cup. No, Ronaldo say winning the World Cup, it's not a dream. As in a name, a premping or way. Because let's do the maths. Is the Portuguese national team Opa Yembisa top 4, top 5, Nipa 3, CCIA Wofi has it. Obiya in the top 3 teams for next year World Cup. I'm sure Obiya for Portugal. So he Ronaldo only believe he say, why baby you want? And you likely say probably to make a World Cup. What I say? Mm-hmm. Now the thing is, he said people say like Cristiano would be the greatest if he wins the World Cup. I don't agree. I won titles with Portugal. We won nothing before these 3 titles. So he is saying say, yet mean defining say, or no Ronaldo no. When Timmy and World Cup among Portugal means that he's not part of the greatest players to ever play in the league and on yet the greatest ever. And all the Argentina example we say. So no Ronaldo no one World Cup in Portugal, and yeah a big deal because probably the Omunya be that. But no Argentina before na Messi Babeji World Cup, Argentina no magic twice. So on the Messi side, if Messi doesn't win the World Cup, then Messi no Onyanyama Argentina and as a world football. So anytime you about Copa America, I don't remember any international Arabia or Belusubian. See the one Argentina for the Bulino. Messi because of the national team. Any the way Argentina for Casa because of international trophy. They do on retire for the national team. He did. But I don't know Ronaldo no. I don't know 3 titles that are Portugal. I didn't be that. Arguably, whenever he comes to the Ronaldo Messi debate, I always be a Messi favorite. But what Ronaldo I am a footballist to. You ain't me for winning the World Cup. Entianga say, while winning World Cup, it's only BBI. Messi, he can go into the history say, while winning everything, every trophy capable of winning at world football stage biado. Or no Messi wajibi. But Ronaldo, probably he hasn't won the World Cup. But that doesn't mean say the football history shouldn't be complete. It might not be complete. Senko one more World Cup ni bidenka or Portugal and Portugal so ends me even appearance to play the World Cup so can so. But to me I think that Ronaldo is somebody that with the hard work, anyhow hard he's been working for all these years, he believes that he's the great player. But to say Ronaldo see World Cup bringing a dream. Who money man? The last time also we are crap person your doctor because papa your doctor. And they own your doctor. So be with us. What is your dreamer? That's
maybe so. Statement I'll make here on Argentina or Magic World Cup ni bida na Portugal and
maybe not make his statement.
Who can say Argentina jibida?
Did I make that?
You can.
I was quoting Ronaldo.
Debbie. And I make her say, it was me maintain for Ronaldo in China. When I met Tifu in China,
then you have to know.
Argentina no Magic bidano. Almost start you on board bono. Senke abrabwa. Omo bo ma brabo yi. Eno mo honey beji. Portugal no. Omo started. Maybe your man started ye. Into no mean to me and no mean to me and do on. Into don't make you feel say as Argentina naji Omaji anti Messi beji no. It's not something new.
What you were saying?
The moment we are seeing
the moment
we are seeing myself. Okay, said this is my biggest dream. This is my ambition. Unless a person change, so you'll be maybe going on in life, unye stable. And Intina maybe idea your dream. Utimi forget here.
Because this is a player.
Something.
This is a player.
On to me complete a World Cup.
For 10 years, on to me complete.
On to me complete. Ronaldo ain't me for make sure. Ronaldo a ban trophy cabinet. Ronaldo ain't me fan home point to the likes of Toni Kroos.
It doesn't matter.
Because Toni Kroos are the World Cup. The Champions Leagues are Ronaldo Argeno. Toni Kroos are Jason Ronaldo.
Okay. So does it
Toni Kroos are G.
I want to ask a question. Does it mean Toni Kroos is a great player than Ronaldo?
Or a complete when it comes to football?
What is complete?
What complete be?
There's nothing like complete.
Why are we playing football? We are playing football based on trophies.
We are the one you're supposed to boy. There's nothing like complete. Nipa doesn't mean.
Then I can say there's nothing like complete.
It's
football. You want
to be like somebody.
But one say, you're trying to say, okay, we had the trophy. See, we had the trophy. See, Obi to say, Abia Pele. Or yeah, idolized. Like we are seeing football now. Like Utimu said to the
the Champions
League. They are all you want the Champions League.
Yes.
What is that?
There's nothing
Ronaldo,
like complete failure.
Ronaldo dilemma.
How many Champions League appearances are Pele boy?
That is it. It's not like a complete.
Say if you are part of it. Maybe say if you are part of it. Now won't mean you know BGR. The person is better than you. Then I person channel. You better catch me say ene wa hai. Abedi Pele meba. Abedi Pele wo hoyi. You bet him the Abedi Pele a compare say on board Copa America dantino. On board Copa. That the competition on ye bim boy. Ebi or the Ghana Copa America. You bet him
if
the person doesn't play, this is the competition that you are playing.
You've been playing.
Like check Ronaldo record. He has not even scored a goal in a knockout stage in the World Cup.
Even closer to Ronaldo. What are you talking about?
What is individual achievement?
Say you compare two players.
What is individual achievement?
Individual achievement.
Individual achievement based on them.
Based on my performance, I'll say
football not tennis. Football not tennis is being played by teams.
Ronaldo
won Champions League.
But some was single out Toni Kroos.
Maybe person me trying to say it's a team sport. It's a team sport. The moment it's a team sport, you all win something in collective. And then maybe individual awards now can. Say it's a team. Once you about tournament we I the cap team. They give each player medal as a representative of what they've won.
Yes. And I'm also saying, we are comparing
two
players.
Individual. Then we should go to tennis.
Ronaldo asema can say wanji World Cup krana. Anyama why you football? Ni didn't to me people the history of football.
Listo, ni didn't.
That is what he's saying. If you agree with him,
ni didn't mean paper.
If you agree, that's fine.
You don't need to achieve anything.
You have to achieve something. If you don't achieve whatever, Ronaldo Adebayo and you fluke keke.
Obi and downgrading the work.
Yes,
statement I will make you say I support Argentina. No.
What statement? It was what Ronaldo said.
And I make a choice. That statement, it shouldn't even come in.
It shouldn't even come in.
Say Argentina for in normal life contest. Say me no obi nkola mienu wo na ba ko papa abobra etimi atokas etimi ade nyama. Na enei ada akola me manza akola bi no. Ni papa etimi ambobra antokas anto nyama. Na akola A no enei oba onu nso start abrabo no wetimi atoka wetimi esidan a opese o che say ne papa ye enti no wetimi enti enya de foforo
dabi
onu so etimi aye bi
Ronaldo is just Ronaldo enters so you see if you Ronaldo
mentions World Cup competition
you are getting
Ronaldo about World Cup competitions as in player BNA obobo
me ba nyabotre
how many appearances in the World Cup Ronaldo about see obi and original ebobo.
I can also give you a fact.
On share quarter final goal. On share knockout stage goal. Put that. Maybe so. The greatest.
You see, you are bringing goals. That is how
I say in a competition now. And I make sure say Ronaldo no or the highest appearance in the World Cup.
And he's the player also called highest tournament. The Bioshe goal.
And I make sure say the most important part, no, on TV go.
What is the most important part? What is the most important part?
I'm not downgrading it.
What is the most important
part? But the moment you make someone's achievement,
there is nothing like the most important part.
The moment you are making someone's
some stage games are. What are you talking about? How saying? How the most important part?
Portugal group. Ronaldo asema inferior teams
onimbo team na oko World Cup no onye kuna kobeko World Cup
meba Ronaldo asem na oka ne say the ode Messi de ani ba mu ne say Argentina for match World Cup dada right so ade a obetumi aye e de please omo say obe replicate what they've done even if it's a woman emro so obe replicate
okay
and Ronaldo no so say ono so ne side to Portugal no they were nothing. And in a scheme of things, Portugal has never been nothing. To Ronaldo, in terms of football nation, Portugal has never been a football nation.
Portugal has been a football nation.
Don't come and argue about this. Remember, argue about this.
What makes you
unim legend have Portugal.
Oh, what are you saying?
Different from being a football.
The time I figure more about the Portuguese national team. The Portuguese national team. The Portuguese national team. Maybe maintaining here.
Are you telling me?
Statements instead they've been nothing.
No, they've never been a football nation.
How have they not been a football nation?
They've never been
football nation. Or they
check it.
You can produce great
football nations.
Still not be a football nation.
How are you producing great players and be a football not being a football nation?
Hungry for guy will push Real Madrid for legend Puskas if you hungry nobody say hungry football nation
oh yeah
you are just basing it on one
now so based
on
Portugal
how
many players are there
it's hungry
how many players
are there based on any free go pay Ricardo Quaresma free country okay any awbo dey say
maybe say players are
Croatia mun now produce players
into Croatia a football country because they've not achieved anything.
They
are not the powerhouse. They are not the powerhouse. A country that won World Cup final.
They are
country that won World Cup
powerhouse.
They are not. On a powerhouse. How do you understand powerhouse?
You know powerhouse in Europe.
How do you understand powerhouse? Explain powerhouse.
So can you compare?
Explain
no, let me tell you. To bet team in Croatia. I compare the top.
Belgium in powerhouse is FIFA and the rankings. He's on top. It's the powerhouse based on then. How are you rating your powerhouse? How are you rating your powerhouse? Explain your powerhouse. Is it based on trophies or based on their performance? And I'm based on them who explain if you were CTA. Send your name.
Me sure say Obeka se Mamelodi Sanders e bana
there be am I intro ni
there be me too what you explain your powerhouse. Portugal has never been a powerhouse in European football.
Explain your powerhouse to them.
They have never been powerhouse in European football.
What is powerhouse?
Hungary has never been. Croatia has never been. They've never been.
And you're shouting, what is powerhouse?
You can never be a powerhouse country without any major trophy.
Explain powerhouse.
Major trophy. Italy, Germany. Yeah, boy, Italy, Germany. Yeah, boy, Italy, Germany, Spain. West Germany more. I'm not powerhouse.
Now, powerhouse football countries are Egypt, Cameroon,
Ghana,
Nigeria,
Ivory Coast. It's because the that qualify for continent.
Is there any FIFA ranking? These are the powerhouse.
You don't need FIFA ranking. You don't need FIFA ranking.
Who bet to be the Belgium to Germany? Who bet to be the Portugal to Germany? Who bet to be the Portugal to Italy? What are you saying? Who bet to be the contest? Based on the
based on what?
Based
on the World Cup.
Football heritage. Football heritage.
If you are raising the concept football heritage,
that is what we are saying.
Heritage, the word heritage.
Let me tell you something.
When we are talking about that, that is what we are saying.
The word
powerhouse, that is what we are saying.
Heritage.
Kotoko and House of
the big
club.
The word heritage.
Yes.
The word heritage.
That is what I'm saying, sir. The Mamelodi Sanders, bigger than
Africa. We are using
why should this be even
the word heritage yesterday?
Why should this even be an argument?
The word heritage yesterday.
European football. History. No, West Germany.
What you are talking about is heritage history.
Performance.
Performance based
West
on
Germany.
What are you trying to
Italy.
Maybe Samu. If you are using the word powerhouse, then it's wrong. If you are using the word heritage, history, I would side with you.
Who is wrong?
No, you can't be a football powerhouse.
Maybe
football
powerhouse for
Portugal, Ronaldo, weight.
The great
because Croatia World Cup final.
Croatia powerhouse. The explanation moment. They have football heritage. They've been able to achieve. There is a difference between powerhouse and heritage. There is a big difference between powerhouse and heritage. There is a big difference between powerhouse and heritage.
Germany will bomb baby.
It's as simple as that.
Everything. Italy, want to be from to Italy, what Italy has done, Brazil, Argentina,
Brazil, they have the football heritage.
What are you talking about?
They have the football
heritage. That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. It's
Croatia. Pick the word heritage.
Croatia now
the powerhouse are based on what they've been able to. Because what they have been able to achieve in the last 3 World Cup.
What
World Cup final?
Besides Bia, or to be found to France. So what are you saying?
Say Eban heritage, yes.
Football powerhouse,
performance wise, he has been able to do
performance.
Do your powerhouse.
performance of
them explain no power.
I have football about 2 years.
What is the
Powerhouse
difference?
for the
Criminal cream. You be
Football heritage. But your mind confusing for.
Italy. Italy qualify ko World Cup a big blow. Say Croatian qualify ko World Cup obi amfa ho.
Ghana yanko have gone. Big blow.
Big blow.
Yeah,
because Ghana will be a powerhouse.
The last performance in the
Africa.
What has been your last performance in the Africa?
No. See what you are saying.
It's not make Ghana say Quebec. Bigger because some qualify for World Cup in Africa.
Who Ghana catch him say Ghana ko AFCON.
Yeah, you're moving forward.
Next time I can stand for number 2.
You're moving forward. Weekend games, na me pese my bet corners nation and pese ki next week power jet S any aviator ni sa we ni nyina no ye next week na no games European we bia news bia ni ho tie na ye benya abotre na ye ni amanfo awuram no games bia ni ho na wo direct omo so omo nko jet S nkotwa eno no be ye clear e de amom na bibia so etumi ade akoyeti mum ye hwe weekend games no weekend matches wo papa Chelsea better fie or new Valentine Wonders ball Arsenal obehwe say Arsenal for no obehwe say they will continue their winning streak when they go to a Stadium of Light and yasem get to Accra. The biggest game and no Basso 12:30 Tottenham Hotspur and Man United. This is going to be a cracker, a big game enya asem get to Accra or hono mentino. Yes, and na metumi e there to Joanna Fi Man United maka so on Tottenham ti yebehwe say Amorim team no then there is another game on Sunday, that is Manchester City Liverpool ti Arsenal was so mutumi win because Man City ni Liverpool na ebo a bibia points betumi a drop it point so drop it there asem betumi asi e ho hodom na fixtures ni bi uko France a ma say ni Brest for no masam brutal me hu bi da Monaco any Lens so ebebo match na Strasbourg so ni Lille Metropole na l'Olympique Lyonnais any Paris Saint-Germain players se no mo prepra no enya asem ketu akra sa match we de anhwe abako ebewu e wo honom na Bundesliga no so no Leverkusen ne Heidenheim ebebo Dortmund ne Hamburger SV ebeko corridor so na Union Berlin and Bayern Munich. Berlin for now. Yes, Union Berlin. That's a derby match. Yes, mostly na Hertha Berlin, but Union Berlin I will check. Omne Bayern Munich so be Italian country Serie A no so no. Juventus ni Torino and also omunyina wo kuro ba so Turin. Na sa match na be so na AC Milan ne Parma be kwa kobo. Na fi big game bi wo Atlanta ne sa solo be reda so Bologna so ne Napoli be sha Napoli eno de metum aka e wa hazel Inter so ne Lazio be bo e wo ho na bibia so etumi aden akoye e wo no na yenko La Liga nim kakra na yenhwe ba bia microphone so be bo Atletico Madrid ne Levante e be reda so na fi Real Madrid enso ne Real Madrid ne Rayo bekwa kobo na fi Barcelona for no money one of them bugi site Celta Vigo sa match no mesra ko goals Celta Vigo ene Barcelona mesra ko goals sani eti bia ko goals yo me dem atumfo eti mu me matches ne mu na ye na ye and so me the odd of 10 times 10 ne beba odd of 10 times 10 that is 1000 on odd of 10 ti eno so me de beba na fe me ne achefo so ye de remu ho no ti man team.
Okay, in the free that is Saturday Vigo any Barcelona game ever so that is this weekend. Barcelona they've not been convincing at all. Share the way Barcelona both games this season. Barcelona both game on concede. Quite bia so they go at all Martin. But Saturday Vigo a team bia. A ban say a both game non concede first only team or concede first. In the game we so who's a Barcelona it declined to alternate Saturday Vigo and Maninian because it's something they are finding it very difficult to do. And we a team bia on the last 5 games on my ball, a move 4. So mbeshe go at this second half. In the second half, Saturday Vigo be my Barcelona pressure. So now can say in confirm she goes no. Saturday Vigo be Barcelona pressure in the second half. Now we are be a 2-1, a 3-1 win for Barcelona. But with this particular option, say me call MYBET.AFRICA. I think remember a handicap of 2 for Saturday Vigo to win this game. I didn't make us answer. All time MYBET.AFRICA, they are Saturday Vigo and wedding 6-0. And Omudiama internal same to me check Saturday Vigo 2. I can be able to make 150, 1.50, 1.70 odds from this game. I'm not looking at Barcelona defeating them by 3-0. Yeah, I'm sure Real Madrid and Rayo. Real Madrid and so far away. Or also another difficult customer on any tie Ebony. Last season, you know 3-3 and a game we end the year Rayo home. So meaning it's a Rayo, it's a Real Madrid Barca, no person we hear home. No mutimi any Real Madrid every super. Now Rayo omu a team bia. Ebani say a book game this season 4 games or about 4 league games or about only the kind first go. Okay. So similar to Barcelona, the American Rayo the kind first go. And in their last meetings with Real Madrid, ni na udi kind to what na the kind. Internet say who GDA party say me a bit ma Rayo early payout or bogo na no. Wakashu sika boko MYBET.AFRICA. But the game way Real Madrid with Alonso. Adebakwa me who Alonso when say if they go into games against difficult teams like that, Real Madrid keeping it very tight defensively. You know man who say omuko menima they get 1 or 2 goals na nyoma bibia. I'm looking at Real Madrid win or draw. Say open the safest bet Real Madrid win or draw. Kylian Mbappe as a player to score anytime. MYBET.AFRICA and also be one option will beat me afa. Mbonra France, Lyon and Paris Saint-Germain. And I think that this fixture I'm a lot of excitement. Some years back, maybe a classify maybe an El Clasico and a big game in France. I bought game way so, but in some years, na say moi Lyon finding it very difficult to beat team FNO. That is Paris Saint-Germain. Lyon 11 games or about this season. With me pick red cards in Kwan 3 times. Into this game, say yellow cards because this is a Lyon team. They are being defensively solid. Or defensively solid, yeah, chess a quine be no or Ben Adrian say ball no say Bekwa question Kwan then you betcha. No, they are picky card war. But Paris Saint-Germain going into this game, first half, every time they are the league high. The ban is a first half goals. Into Paris Saint-Germain network in the first half. I think this game with injuries, Paris Saint-Germain side will play a big factor. You name him say Ousmane Dembele, their Ballon d'Or winner, key player in their setup, and they only who are on team in game no. And one thing about Paris Saint-Germain, after this game is just an international break. Into meaning they don't need to rest players for the Champions League or any other competition. I think the best option I'll bet me a call MYBET.AFRICA able team to score. Because likely Lyon able goals. Now they are scoring. Paris Saint-Germain into able goals. So both team to score. And the likeliest option I'll bet me a in this particular game. Yembonra Italy, the big game and so called. So Inter Milan and Lazio. We share the Italian Serie A. Inter Milan a team bia ni goal average was through or average at least a 2.4 goals per game. Into this game, surely there are going to be more goals. Inter Milan 7 home games or above here. Emu 2. Inter Milan in the last 7 games or about 2+ goals. Okay. But a ban the league now, Lazio, one of the teams are a ban goal scoring or very low. In the last we are friends saying games or about in their last 5 games, no, Bakupe and a both team to score about. And then said this game, we may not see another both team to score a BN team. But I'm looking at Inter Milan dominating this game because any leg in a corner. So the likes of Roma, the likes of AC Milan, the likes of Napoli beat me at league from same. So likely an Inter Milan win or draw, and maybe Inter Milan to score 2 goals in this game. Arsenal and Sunderland, a big fixture. I think this fixture is all calling about Granit Xhaka. Arsenal are returning to the city, the Stadium of Light. And I think the Upetima wabre ewo Arsenal and Sanopan Sunderland. On my last 15 meetings, Sunderland the team pick just 1 draw ewo. But Sunderland you be a so 2 coin equal Londona. Utimi pick good results. One think a game win ka Sunderland nya pa nanke ball landing send yanka history e betimi abo mo so the Stadium of Light. And I'm no Sunderland person mo so betimi abo mo modern Sunderland the team bia the last 3 games or abo at least with me share go in the first half and also in the second half. So likely Arsenal clean sheet maybe a bit me this time against the likes of where a friend is saying and Sunderland players or more up front saying they bit me about more than this game it will be a set piece game. So up a game born in Jina Park and so on a game way. Both teams take more advantage from set pieces. Eba Sunderland that they are throwing their corners. The likes of Ballard more getting into the box. Physicality was true. So we see a lot of physical battles in those areas. And I think this would lead to a lot of corners. Because we'll see teams trying to ride on set pieces, like set pieces like free kicks and also corners. Throwing is Nyama. So we are going to see a lot of corners in this game. Me too, for say come in MYBET.AFRICA, the best option I'll bet me afa corners of over 8.5. And probably me chisha me bet then I'm 1.50. And I think it's a good picker. Also bet me akọ. But Arsenal win or draw, a bear one option makes me into investors for so bet me afa. Yeah, Tottenham and Man United, and I think say this fixture, Man United in their last fixtures on about 6, Tottenham may keep it 4 clean sheets in this fixture. A check how dominant at Tottenham 80 against Man United. But game we, Adebako Mboa Thomas Frank and they say, your bad league performance and any home, say be a home performance Tottenham better 18th on the league log.
Okay.
They've been very poor at home. Intino say kwa Tottenham straight winner. No ashon huye. In the EPL in him say 11-30 12-30 games no. Mostly a favorite team now or no air bar history M1 no. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ruben Amorim and Brighton bet him akwa bomb more thing. Tottenham team no another thing they say a ban say a team will team face a lot of shots on target Vicario and I save percentage on the show.
Okay.
And Man United on the other hand, up a team at this season, they are leading shot on target and are shot in January. Man United, about 54 shots this season in Kwa. Into any Vicario, Jumaye. The likes of Cunha, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, the likes of Sesko, even Casemiro at the short to be point year. But Man United, Eddie kind concede. I think it will be a big problem for them because this season, anytime you are concede, their best is a draw. Okay. It is a wound to touch a medical share. Maybe I would GDS still Man United beat me win. It's best to go for a Man United win or draw. I think this game will give us a lot of goals. Both teams will be attacking. Man United, anytime they meet a team and more attacking, they also search forward well. So we are going to see an over 2.5 in this game and also a both team to score in this game. But say one team, picking one team to win there, I think I would go for a Tottenham win or draw in this game. The last game I met at Manchester City against Liverpool. This fixture has been dominated by Liverpool in the past. Last season, Liverpool Man City home and away. In the previous season, a draw in both fixtures, a 1-1 and also a 3-3. But this fixture, Adebako Ebuan is a Man City able fear or average at least a 2+ goals per game. Liverpool on the other hand, and so Equa away are also average a 2+ goals per game. This is a fixture we will see a lot of goals. I'm not seeing Liverpool keeping a clean sheet there. We are going to see a lot of goals in this game. So it's a both team to score and also over 2.5 are likely say bet me about. But this will be a big test for Slot. What ball reset bat minimum, but this wouldn't be Real Madrid. This wouldn't be Aston Villa. This will be a Manchester City team. Erling Haaland is scoring for fun. So I'm going to keep Haaland from scoring. Meaning say I can tip say Liverpool can give a pressure in the league title. But this fixture, I'm looking at the both team to score and also over 2.5 in this game. With my MYBET.AFRICA selections on my end, I think odds in so. I do my bet tips so I made me amount 20 odds and say day Saturday per 20 or Sunday by Telegram group no now so befa games na kano
Okay. Yeah, me and you.
Yeah, listo. Men chia tea for be me sans tea for kwaba. Na me the Powerhouse Boys in a very good day. I think say this weekend you're witnessing a lot of big games. But let me start with the big ones. These two. Nyame adoma Tottenham ne Man U game no. My favorite manager in the Premier League aside Enzo Maresca and Ruben Amorim. And this two, he is going into the game as the manager of the month of October. Same as Brian Mbeumo going into that game as the player of the month of October in the Premier League.
Okay.
You see, however, since you see 2025, no team used to. And they lose more home games than Tottenham Hotspur. In fact, in the history of the Premier League, how many teams lose more home games Into our check here. 9 this season. Omolusu 9. Only in 1994 and 2003 and a Tottenham Hotspur. Elusu 10. In 1994, Omolusu 10 home games. 2003, Omolusu 10 home games. And you see, the reason why Omuna the only team Omuta Elusu home games now, I said this too. You bought 38 games in a season. And 38 games now. Over 19 were home. No, but 19 were away. So with Tottenham losing this game, Seman you call Kokoshen anymore. But you see the thing is, United has been on a very good run. On the last 5 games, list two. I'm winning 4 no about draw toss of 5. So there's a Man United fan. Almost last week, so United winning 5 games toss of being it. All canon 18 years sweat now. They didn't bro virus there. It's going to be an interesting game. You see, if you look at Thomas Franka, Nitima, also working solely on defense, against Chelsea. Put him say, or a defensive works in the most. So the players, no one almost Chelsea, they were clueless in front of goal. Almost shot on target. Any exit so a record, the least record in the Premier League this season. So to me, I think it's going to be an interesting game. Looking at how both teams be lining up, so the money man can say they defend and Thomas Frank, a very good coach, but at least to suffer 9 defeats on the last 16 home games. In terms of the home games, to me, it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's a game that ending in a scoring draw. It's a game that I think is ending in a scoring draw because United team no, they will attack, they will create chances, and Spurs team no, in this game they can defend and defend better. But the thing is, can United, Lamens, the 3-back system, whoever will play, would they be able to maintain Mohamed Kudus, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, Xavi Simons for the entire 90 minutes without United conceding a goal? For that, I doubt. It's a game that leads to, I see a goal in the first 15 minutes. A bit more for United, a bit more for Tottenham Hotspur. Because this game, no, mostly what I should go in them, no, when I have a winning game, what better share first goal, because a year pressure in free so. You say Spurs a share first goal. I won't be surprised that they will be the second team to score the second goal. If United share first goal, whoever will score the first goal in this game, no, have a high tendency. So Bessa share the second goal. So to me, these two, it's going to be an interesting game. It's a game that we should expect a lot of corners. Both teams, they attack from the flanks. And any team, they are all attacking more from the flanks, they get a lot of corners. And it's a game that I'm waiting for both teams to score over 1.5 goals in this game, over 9.5 goals in that game. Then probably I see Mohamed Kudus scoring. If he's going to play, I have a feeling that Mohamed Kudus can score in a game Tottenham. You see, these two, Arsenal will play Sunderland. But I don't know why Migat HM say Arsenal have 8 games consecutive without conceding a goal. Now, listen, in the Premier League, the last time Arsenal conceded a goal in the Premier League was against Newcastle, somewhere in September. Now, listen, Omo Bedeso made me winning 5 games straight wins with clean sheets in the Premier League for the first time since 1987. During George Graham time, listen, it will be an interesting game. If I'm being honest, I think if Arsenal are going to concede a goal, it should be this game. If Arsenal almost 8 matches winning streak without conceding a goal, a bit member an end against Sunderland. Easy. I'm not for doing young Sunday team, Mr. Balisto. They've played a lot of big teams. Omabo, almost all the big teams. Almost all the big teams in the league, in the Premier League this season. But yes, still Listo, if you look at where they are at the league table, it is incredible. Omo 18 points. And they sit the other second over 19 points. Liverpool 18 points. This is Sunderland who free championship by. Now Listo, Sunderland in the Premier League. What about Brentford? What about Crystal Palace? No? Now they were one of the best teams in the league. What about Aston Villa? What about Nottingham Forest? What about Man United? And what about Chelsea? So, checking the games are so far this season about Listo. Sunderland lose just one game. Brentford, or maybe Brentford and cut the top teams home. But may the Crystal Palace back at home. May the Aston Villa back at home. May the Nottingham Forest across City Ground. May the Nottingham Forest back at home. May the United back at home. Then may the Chelsea back at home. All these teams, yet still, will manage just one loss. So it's a game that leads to Arsenal for the more fanful. Probably they are the favorites. Probably Arsenal are a favorite. But to me, I'll go in for a double chance for Arsenal. Arsenal beats me win by a 1-0 goal. But you see, the uncertainties of football, and from where I sit, I think that Sunderland might be a team at least to obey me Arsenal for a more good one, why a more year because the Arsenal go into the game without Victor Gyokeres. You can go into the game without him. Not Merino Bay leading lines, but yes, still you still get a win against Slavia Prague. But we are against Sunderland. On home. A home ground at least to also lose match. They are consistent. Home, I think say no team and lose more Premier League home games. So it's going to be interesting. They have a very good home record. Arsenal from the unbeaten. Time can watch. So it's going to be an interesting game. But Moneyman spoke about set pieces. These two teams on my ball list, they are the few teams, and they are the top two teams they are leading in set pieces goals this season. So, more creative chances no one being shot. They have ways and means to win this game, and probably I see that the winner of this game will be a set piece goal, probably from a long throw, from a corner kick, and maybe a free kick. But people should be aware. Our advice investors say the only safest option for Sunderland Arsenal game is to set pieces, corners, throws.
Okay.
Liverpool need Tottenham be ball listo. And you see, every year be a statistics pressure in the city so. Every season be a statistics be a pressure in the city so. Both say best starting. They won't be at the top of the table. On my board draw be. Now say they will find it very difficult to win games. Both say EFL no ask what board draw EFL bimu. No board draw Africa bimu. Champions League group stages. Won't share the hundred or more year. And it has been the trend, but they are doing enkoso. They don't start the season very well. And the season almost starting the world record. It doesn't mean say they've been losing games. Now, listen. Nobody is talking about City. Even in prem, teams are man for believes on Magic League. Nobody is even talking about Manchester City. But if you look at the league log, listen, they're more 19 points. Just 6 points behind us now. And you see, with Manchester City form this season, in the Premier League, listen, they lost to Aston Villa, and that's the only game Omolusu in a while. Omolusu to Aston Villa. And in their last 10 games, City winning wins upon wins, but man for doing embassy. Same as Liverpool. They started the league very well. Definitely not spotlight no more. Only league champions. They were winning games at late 80 minutes, 70 minutes, diamonds of the game. In the transfer market, they were active. They bought the most expensive players, almost spend this guy saying all the other teams. So definitely they will be the talking points. Now, listen, if you look at Man City, the last time a City lose two game, I started season and I'm for City, I'll be break this season. Any 2 games no lose that is in match day 2 against Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham share in the 2. And then again, Okoma Brighton so share in the 2-1. Since then, listen, Umunya lose game. Then the last game Umunya was against Aston Villa. To me, they have the right squad. Now, whether you're O'Reilly, Nebo left back, even player I'm confident if he was Wolves, I know it, Brian. Now, small boy in left back row, now Baboni. And Foden, Erling Haaland, unstoppable. Ryan Check is too free injury by and he's been scoring for fun. And I'm half for Junior also. And they have a very good record against Liverpool. Remember, Madrid win. And I said, Liverpool, last 2 victories, in their man for team. Liverpool still, they have some difficulties. Or more problem on with team. Winning late goals. I am modern starting season was something that they had to. I mean, they have some positives in the team. And when Liverpool is playing against City, always a big game. Last season, City and Timan last season, I in slot Ebu Pep Guardiola 2-0, both home and away. So no disrespect to them, they are the reigning champions of the Premier League, and definitely it's going to be a big game. But it's a game I don't see Liverpool going all the way to Etihad to win. I'm going for a double chance for Manchester City. But one thing, for sure, this is Liverpool.
Okay.
They are going to score. Liverpool are going to score, and definitely they are going to concede with this Liverpool defense. They are going to concede. So both teams to score. Yes, likely over 2.5 goals. Likely a tie ball this fixture. Then I'm going for a double chance for Manchester City. Listo.
Yeah, until the moment I share your options in the media, I'm born media and so see na being for code no Emma a year. For me code in here D3SG. Oh, come on, neighbor. Oh, I didn't actually show us this year. Maybe what me can say D3.
If I'm main comedian,
maybe say me show code na if I'm okay booking code D3SG. Okay, maybe. 11 selection am I? 11 selection am I? Al Hilal. Kwa we one Najma enable. Al Hilal away win. Nom SC ene Anasa away win. Como home. Como home win or draw. Bayer Leverkusen home on head them. Bayer Leverkusen home win. But I was also selected early pay out no. Could be a bit much 2. That's I can have a better tiation 3-2 early pay out no. And Hamburger SV and Dortmund away win or draw. Olympic Marseille and Brest. Olympic Marseille home win early payout. Iris Limassol oko Cyprus Iris Limassol one YP Sonas FC nebo. Iris Limassol home win. And Atletico Madrid in Levante full time under 4.5. And a Parma Casio any AC Milan we win or draw. And a Santa Clara any Sporting CP under 4.5. Us ni na 10. Us which one 1,000 10,000.
Okay, into me selections for this weekend. Saturday Pempo di and Sunday Kai. Nabra Telegram group number for Sunday into selections because Tottenham Hotspur Man United over 2.5 and both teams to score. Bayern Leverkusen any hand the hand. Bayern Leverkusen win or draw 1.5. Hoffenheim any RB Leipzig win or draw. And Hamburg any Dortmund to win either half. That is yes, MYBET.AFRICA. Sunderland, any Arsenal, corners of over 8.5. Atletico Madrid, any Levante, Atletico Madrid straight win Parma any AC Milan win or draw. Chelsea any Wolves Chelsea straight win. And a Sporting any Santa Clara Sporting straight win. 20 odds MYBET.AFRICA. Code no 5XSG. 5XSG MYBET.AFRICA.
Yes, so my selection for any games no weekends dear no it be call ninth market for yes. See my selection for any games no say city whether Bremen any Wolfsburg game no we be call double chance, that is 1-2 home or away 1-2. Then Elche any Real Sociedad we be call double chance for Real Sociedad. Pisa any US Cremonese or Italian Serie A animu ubeko over 1.5 goals in that game. Paris FC any Stade Rennais and no over 1.5 goals in that game. Samsung FC 20 and it's my ding Eddie SC Telstar or Eddie DVC anymore. And also bet me a win for FC 20. Code no a 4N SG 4N S for Shatawale, G for Grammy. Yes, 4N SG.
Okay, yeah. Right, into no yeah us for a year the week no. But more than for gusu me the end the makacha my 10 last 2 weeks me be. And I me J misikano. Me ye me channel 1,000 and about 4,000 I me J. I dear chain no. Na ka 3 teams. Man City away go, Man City enya away go against Aston Villa, but me just scanning no. Me family to the edi ema bibia koye e ho no. Ti nyame adom na adom ya Monday ye besa hia na fe de aka mu nyina ye de Abraham me din the list o oti Benedict nkasa so na Vincent nka oti nka e ho ha kojo virus e na extreme show no yakram